and to focus on what you see here, the actual meaning of the backlinks. Distribution of the anchor text is something that we look at for clients and all the competitors, because it has to be natural. The typical pattern looks like this. You have a brand name with some other stuff, some action words, some transactional keywords in there, like buy brand name or buy brand name for cheap or affordable brand name. Well, replace brand name with whatever you want. Have the domain name in there, of course, and only then you have the keyword phrases that people usually try to go after. The more, the more specific keyword phrases. But in a natural backlink distribution, those are only a small fraction of the actual backlinks. I think Gary put up some numbers with 20 and 80%, 20 for the keywords and 80 with some other crap. My take on this is, forget about the 20-80 rule here. It's not 20-80, it's not 27 and 19. It's different for every vertical, for every language, for every country. One example you see here, typically for this Excel and McQueen subsite of Puma, you have his name, you have the name again, and you even have the URL, which is very typical. And a lot of links that were already removed, maybe because they were, block spam that got deleted. This is the backlink profile of Check24, a website which just looked at 2 days ago at SES Berlin for a site clinic, where you see a similar pattern again with the URL, the brand name in there, but then they do broadband, DSL broadband stuff, and all kinds of comparisons for credit. You see actual specific keywords in the backlinks. What's interesting is that you have a lot of links that couldn't be found anymore, that were still reported by the backlink engine, by the backlink creators of engines like Yahoo, and a couple of image links. This here indicates, after some more minutes of research, it was confirmed that they bought a big amount of their links, and this is 70%, on networks that were actually, well, let's say, not beneficial for their rankings. And they already cleaned it up, but we still see it, and I hope for them that the rankings will improve again. Obviously, they got a penalty for that. But you see, in the breakdown of anchor text, you have the brand name in there on the most popular ones, again. Although this here and this here, which does not include brand name, would indicate a bit of an over-optimization for me. Some weeks before, we had another conference where we did a site clinic and looked at a competitor of that big online adult portal. And as you can see, even in the adult where they give away free porn movies, it's the same pattern. This site was outranking, actually, it's a free hosting service, I think, and they were outranking everything the client tried to do. So I would tend to say that every industry has the same rule here. The brand names and the actual domain names should come up first. And if it doesn't look like that, you already stick out with a red flag to Google saying, well, we're SEOs. And that cries for de-optimization then. Okay. Another strategy to use is a common backlink analysis. This is also referred to as hub finding. And it works by looking at all the backlinks of the top competitors, which could be the top 10 rankings for a keyword, or a combination of top ranking websites, or just a list of websites that you know that are your competitors, finding the commonalities in there, which means finding websites that link to 2 or 3 or 4 of them, and then, of course, judging on the quality again of those. It always needs a manual review. Why is that? There are a lot of crap links in there. You might have links from, you might find websites that have been around for 5 or 6 years that link to those competitors. And back then, it was okay. Best example for a crappy site would be the Yahoo directory or the Demos directory. People used to submit it there, and it used to have a beneficial value for the SEO traffic. I think that's not true today, and while I would say Yahoo and Demos directories are okay to submit to today, we very often see other directories in there that I would never ever want my link in there, not even if they would pay me to place the link in there, right? So it always needs you and your gut feeling. If it looks like spam, it probably is. And well, and the good ones you go after. This is a picture that explains that again. You do have the linking websites A to H and the 3 competitor websites. And if you follow all these small little arrows, you will see that A and F link to all 3 of them. So A and F would be the next candidates for a manual review through the link builder and to see if you can get a link there. Yeah, again, you have to ignore the crappy links to not get a fresh link on a bad site. The links are still there, and they are good because they have been there maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So that's what I call Google amnesia. If they introduce new rules, if they penalize a site, they can't penalize everything that's being linked from there just because it was okay 3 years ago and it's not okay now. Yeah, and again, you have to be efficient with this. The next part goes about authorities, and we heard before that governmental pages, the news and media websites are the typical authorities that you would love to have links from, and well, I encourage you to get them. But that's not always possible. And a link on the second level, which means on those websites that are linked from those authority sites, are great too, and more achievable. Here's a little diagram that should explain that. Imagine these first bubbles in the first level here are these authorities, the governmental pages, the newspapers, etc. If you can get links from here, it's not a direct link from there, but based on the trust rank patent, the trust rank method of how positive or negative trust propagates in Google, this makes absolute sense. And by the way, it's natural. So what you want to find out is, what are these level 2 websites actually called? Which websites are those? So there's a way of doing that with a common outbound link analysis. You look at the top ranking sites, then look at what are they linking, where are they linking to, and again, try to find common patterns in there. If websites are being linked 2 or 3 or 5 or even 10 times from those top ranking websites, they qualify as such second level authorities. And very often those are, popular bloggers. Very often there are also all kinds of web analytics tools like StatCounter. In some industries, in some verticals, there are a lot of blogs, and they all have some kind of StatCounter or Google Analytics or something like that. So again, you have to judge on the quality and actually the sense of having a link there. But you can go after them because you have this information, and this result of possible link opportunities often broadens my horizon when I look into new industries, new niches. Especially for us as link builders, that's a painful job. I'm sure you know your competitors, you know your authorities in your space. It could be a very, very dense blogger cloud or a very, very open cloud of industry hubs. This is a way for us to understand an industry really with automated support. And well, we developed a tool for that because all this data that we want to look at is not from Google, it's not from Yahoo, it's not from AltaVista, Excelite, Webmaster Consoles, or even these pay tools like Majestic SEO or Linkscape from Rand Fishkin, SEO Moz. Our approach is to aggregate all that and then take out what does not work, like offline links we don't want to see, and try to rank it based on over 40 different criteria. This is what our link research tools do that we're currently running a private beta on. And if you're interested and want to take a look, I encourage you to just leave a business card afterwards.